With all the great features we give you in a Theme Blvd theme, we haven't forgot the one thing that is most important that made us all fall in love with WordPress in the first place, and that's blogging. So in this tutorial, we're going to talk about post formats and really dressing up the blog of your website. When editing the posts of your site, you're going to see a selection for the post format over in the right column. When working with post formats, there's no extra options, it's all about how you structure your content. And the common theme amidst everything for all the post formats is that you're going to put the main focus or the main media at the top of the post. So if it's a video post, you'll put it on the first line. If it's a quote post, you'll put the quote on the first line. Now let's really dive in and look at a bunch of examples. And of course, the first post format we're going to talk about, the image format, contradicts what I just said. This is probably the one format that has media involved where you don't put it on the first line of the post. When you're creating a post in the image post format, simply select the image post format and then set up a featured image in the same way you would with any post. But then a gallery post does work in that way I described previously. So what you're going to do with a gallery post is you're just going to insert a standard WordPress gallery into the top of the post content. When you do this, our theme is going to take it and transform it into a slider that will show at the top of your content. For a video post, you're just going to put the video into the post. Just make sure again it's on the first line of the post so it can get extracted and utilized in the blog role of the theme. In the example here, we've just taken the URL to a Vimeo video and put it in the top of the post. You can use any video source that WordPress supports. And the same thing goes for an audio post. Simply insert the audio into the top of the post on the first line through the WordPress editor. And a cool trick here too is that if you add a featured image to the audio post, the theme will automatically take the audio file and place it over top of that image. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a self-hosted audio file. It can be any embed that WordPress supports. For example, here I've inserted a URL from a SoundCloud playlist. If you'd like a complete list of all the sources you can embed media from in your WordPress posts, simply Google WordPress embeds and check out the first article that comes up from the WordPress Codex. And as you probably guessed, for the quote post format, your quote just needs to come on the first line of the post. And with that, there's a couple different ways you could do it. You could use the visual editor to write out a block quote in the normal way. Or if you want to make it a little bit fancier and you want to be able to add a source below the quote and not have to muck around with any HTML or anything like that, you can use our block quote shortcode. But either way, that quote is going to get nicely plucked out and used in your blog role. For the link post format, there's also two different ways you can do it, both being at the top of the content. The first way is to put an HTML link at the top of the content, or you can simply put a website URL. And then on the front end of your site, what happens is this URL or link gets extracted from the content of the post and automatically inserted into the title of the post. And the last two formats I want to talk about are the aside and the status formats. Now these both are very similar. You'll use them to display just little random tidbits of information into your blog role. Now if you're trying to decide between which one to use, the difference in how the theme handles them is that on an aside post, the title is not going to show at all, while on a status format post, the title will show.